In the digital age, false information spreads rapidly. Sometimes this happens through intentional lying, but often it happens through a behavior psychologists call bullshitting. While a liar knows the truth and actively tries to deceive you, a bullshitter communicates with total indifference to the truth. A statement from a bullshitter might be true, or it might be false. They simply do not care. Because bullshitters do not actively hide the truth, people tend to judge them less harshly than outright liars. A recent study published in Current Psychology asked a crucial question. Does this casual disregard for reality pose a greater threat to what we believe than intentional lying? Researchers wanted to test how bullshitting interacts with the illusory truth effect. This is a psychological phenomenon where people tend to believe false information is true simply because they have heard it multiple times. When the brain encounters a repeated statement, it processes that information more easily, and people mistake this mental ease for actual truth. To investigate this, the authors designed a series of experiments. In one experiment, over 200 students evaluated statements that were either factual or completely false. The participants were told the statements came from either an average person, a known liar, or a known bullshitter. The researchers provided specific definitions for these terms. The data showed that participants rated statements from an alleged bullshitter as more truthful than the exact same statements made by an alleged liar. The researchers then conducted another experiment to see how this trust interacts with repeated exposure. They exposed nearly 300 students to various statements. Some statements were shown once, and some were repeated. The scientists also manipulated when participants received a warning about the source. Some were warned before reading any statements, while others were warned only after the initial reading phase. Forewarning people about false information before they read the statements reduced the illusory truth effect across all groups. However, when the warning came after the initial exposure, a different pattern emerged. Participants who were told the source was a liar successfully corrected their judgments and recognized the false statements as untrue. In contrast, participants told the source was a bullshitter still fell for the illusory truth effect. Even after learning the author had no regard for the truth, these students rated the repeated false statements as highly truthful. The repetition of the claims led them to believe the statements were true. Learn more about this study and other new research at PsyPost.org.